What to do, airheads? Wholesale prices came in hot today. They rose higher than expected. Yesterday, CPI came in, showed an increase over June. So a lot of the talking heads and pundits and politicians are trying to downplay this, saying that, well, year over year it's coming down, but we saw a tick up. So we saw a tick up from June to July. We saw a tick up from June to July in PPI and CPI is what I'm trying to say. Top of that today, Bitcoin kind of flat, trading within a predictable range now. So we did get that kind of confirmation of this channel. It is a descending wedge pattern. Now, typically these break up to the upside. Who knows what's going to happen in this market. I mean, I could see us kind of tightening up into this range over the weekend, maybe trading sideways or flat. Traditional markets, NASDAQ down about 1%, S&P down 0.25%, Dow pretty flat, dollar up about 1.14%. Look, we're going to dissect the charts today. We got some spicy news going on today. So derivatives volume is where we're going to see the growth. This coming from Genesis. Web3 gaming, is that the next, sector to take off? We had that AI pump. We had the NFT pump before that and the metaverse pump. Are we going to be looking at Web3 gaming? We're going to take a look at Binance as they're pursuing regulatory approval in Taiwan. Binance is supporting CRV with a $5 million investment. 50% decline in trading volume on Binance, but they're still the top. SEC and ARC, we thought we might get an approval here soon, but now they are delaying it and asking for new comments. Base activity surges taking over OP. Rollbit, we're going to talk about Rollbit today, guys. I'm super bullish on their coin and then the project in general. Coinbase layer 2 overtakes Optimism. There we go. And then finally the PPI numbers. It's kind of the news of the day, guys. If something else happens and comes up as I'm filming this video, I will talk about it. We're going to dissect the charts. We're going to look at a couple of altcoins today, get you set up for the weekend, maybe show you a channel that you can trade. I took a short up here. I'm still in it, but probably going to close it out if we kind of start retracing. But we got our must hold level, this rectangle here. You can see why back here. If we lose this, it could get real ugly, guys. So let's just hop right into it. Before we do, I make these videos every single day, sometimes multiple videos a day. So if you want to be caught up on the news, if you want trading strategies to go over and kind of fill you in on the latest happenings of crypto Twitter and all that fun stuff, like, comment, subscribe. Hop in Discord, discord.gg/alpha air. As you can see, I'm posting the news all day long. But on top of that, I give you the sauce, the gravy, baby, every single day. Calling all plays out that, what? I've just been on a roll lately with them playing out exactly to a T. This is free right now. First 100 people that join are going to be grandfathered into any type of paywall I do in the future. I should be charging $100 a month for this. All the other influencers do. Right now it's free. Take advantage of it. Try me out. Hop on in. Let's just get right into the gravy. Let's get Bitcoin out of the way here to start. We'll get into the news and then take a look at see what's going on in crypto Twitter, right? So like I said, we got this descending wedge channel right now. So far it is holding up. So what I have been doing, I took my short here, right? Probably gonna take a long here, but starts retracing. However, this is where it could get scary, guys. This rectangle here, if we lose this, and you can see why, we could kind of come down to these levels down here. But if that happens right now, guess what? I'm in my shorts. I took it at this resistance up here, and I'm going to be on the winning side of it. But we could be looking at a 29,200-ish Bitcoin if we start to lose this channel. On the bigger kind of move, if we lose down, it could be a $29,000 retest. If it is, guess what? I'm okay with that, because take a look at the liquidity right now and where it sits. So 29,000, super thick with liquidity. I don't know that we had the volume today, Friday, going into the weekend. I don't know that we had the volume to crash through it. There is some liquidity on the way down there, so there is some support levels that we could hold at, but 29,000, super thick there. 30,000, I mean, we're back to where we were, right? After all these crazy moves this week with the CPI and everything else, we're right back to where we were. So my plan is the same, right? To trade these levels of liquidity that act as support and resistance, to trade this channel right here. That way I can be on the winning side of the trade. If we start to come up, I'm going to take my long right at the top of that channel again, right? And I'll keep trading this channel. I'll keep trading this channel as we wind down into it, and then keep watching liquidity, because it changes. Liquidity is going to change. It could get pulled. It could come in somewhere else. I mean, we're seeing it come in right now, right here. You can see it's getting a little bit thicker at 29,300. So that's all you got to do. That's all you can do this weekend. That's the channel. It should break to the upside. But if we start to toy with this kind of support here, we could be looking at about a 29,200, 29,000. Here's another thing I'm watching. That's at the 1 hour chart is where I'm finding that channel, right? So if I turn back on, there we go. You can see this rectangle here. But if I turn that off, what else do you see? You see we're toying with the 200 moving average right now. So if we lose that, you're going to see that pull down these 21, the 50, the 100 moving average. And we make that bearish cross underneath that 200 moving average. We start getting into a little bit more of a bearish posture. So that's what I'm watching today. Take a look at the 4 hour chart and the moving averages. You can see they're all converging on one another. You know, it starts to get dicey as far as plays go when that happens. So watching that daily time frame, you know, we're still looking good. We're still looking bullish, although it's starting to get a little bit neutral. So it's been green on Lux Algo, starting to kind of turn to that purplish color, looking a little bit more neutral. What we don't want to see is these start to turn red and start to lose this 50 moving average, because then we're going down to the 100. We lose that, we're going down to the 200. But for now at least, it's still looking pretty bullish. You know, on the larger, more macro scale. I mean, you take your trend line here. We want to hold this trend line, which corresponds right now with that rectangle box that I just showed you in the previous chart. We don't want to lose this. We haven't lost it all year. We lose this trend line, we could be looking at retesting of that 100 at 28.6. We could be making new lows, new local lows, and then looking at like 27,000. So still, you know, still in that descending wedge, larger time frame play, right? Still in that descending wedge. That should break to the upside, but who knows what's going to happen. That's why we set ourselves up for every single scenario, trade those ranges so we can be on the winning side of it every single time. Another thing that you want to consider is, so from our previous high in the last cycle, this last, you know, was about 30,000, we hit 31,000, right? Back here in April, kind of retraced it, pumped up. We made our new high at about 31.8. That was a bearish divergence, guys. So on the RSI, it made a bearish divergence. So currently, you know, we are still above the simple moving average, which is still bearish. However, it is turning down. So we do not want to cross below the simple moving average. We want to look for a bounce here. We really want like a today, Friday bounce or a Sunday into Monday bounce in order to stop us from coming down further. If we don't get that, I'm afraid we're going to retrace before we pump up. And look, we had that little bit of a pump Tuesday-ish, right? And then it's just been kind of falling off since, as people are selling, taking profits. This was that Monday green dot print where we ran up, still haven't cracked that zero line, and it's starting to round, guys. So what we don't want to happen is to stay underneath this and then come back down again. The VWAP's coming down. If that crosses below the zero line, people are taking profits. Stokes RSI is coming down. You know, obviously this would be a huge bearish divergence if this starts to play out in a downturn manner. We want to close today up. We just do. Otherwise, it's gonna look ugly. People are gonna get shook. People are gonna start selling, closing their positions into the weekend. It's gonna allow for easier manipulation of the markets. We just want to close. We want to have a good day. And right now, Bitcoin's hanging on. We're down 0.31%. We could easily make that up. Dollar's pumping a little bit more though. Since when I started this video, we don't want that to happen. You know, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But we could squeak this out if we have a good day today. The main point I'm trying to make is a big move has to happen, or some kind of move has to happen soon, right? 4 hour moving averages are all converged on each other. We're right at that yearly long trend line that I just showed you. We're, you know, winding down in that descending wedge channel. Something has to give. Something has to give. But as long as we're trading the liquidity and the ranges, right, and that descending wedge that I showed you guys on that smaller time frame chart to start, you're going to be on the winning side of the thing. And also, you know, you don't have to trade right now. You can wait to the move. You can just hone your skills, practice, or look for some alt plays. And we're going to show you some later on in this video. But let's take a look at some news. We'll check back in with Bitcoin, and then we'll dissect some alts to end the video. So I tend to kind of agree with this sentiment right now. So growth of crypto volumes will be in derivatives. This coming from a Genesis report. So options are increasingly seen as the go-to instrument for institutional players entering crypto, a report has said. So CME is seen as more stable option for top-tier institutional investors participating in crypto derivatives. Now, we know that there is potential for some ETH spot ETFs on the heels of the Bitcoin ETFs if they get approved. We know that there is so much institutional interest in the Bitcoin spot ETFs out there. A lot of these guys have filed for multi-trillion-dollar AUMs, have applied for the spot ETFs. They're going to pump our bags. While I would love to see retail in on this journey, they're just not there right now. Spot is at the lowest it's been in a long time. 3-year low, I think, on spot volume. Binance is down 50%. Still the top dogs out there, just to kind of give it and put it in perspective for you. So I do firmly believe we do not need retail right now. I'm fine with BlackRock pumping my bags and taking us to the next level. Unfortunately, I think you're going to see retail FOMO in too late. They should be here. They should have been here at $16,000, $15,000 Bitcoin at the FTX crash. But a lot of them got burnt because they just were not educated, which is what I'm trying to do on this channel, especially with my Learn the TA series. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Click in the channel. It's right there. But I agree with this sentiment. Now, I'm a gamer. I don't have as much time anymore to game like I used to when I was younger. But, I played Diablo 4. Every once in a while, a game comes out that piques my interest. But this is something that I would love to see happen. I would love to see Web3 gaming rise. Lots of investments are pouring in. What we need is like a World of Warcraft type game or a big AAA studio game to have a successful game. World of Warcraft spawned a ton of other MMOs because World of Warcraft was expensive. But what happened was they just created a whole bunch of World of Warcraft clones. They didn't do anything innovative. So I'd love to see some innovation in the industry here. $270 million in investment funding went to Web3 games in just July. $300 million in investment funding went to Web3 games in July 2023 alone. The blockchain gaming sector accounted for 41% of the entire industry's engagement. Google Play recently updated its policy to open new ways to transact blockchain-based digital content within apps and games. What I don't want to see is a bunch of shit apps from shit companies that are just cash grabs. I want to see real games. And there's some out there, Wilder World. There's one coming from Ubisoft. So these are games I'm following. So Ubisoft reveals next blockchain game Champion Tactics. The makers of Assassin's Creed and many other games are an original tactical RPG. I think this is going to be kind of like League of Legends. Wilder World's an MMO. It kind of has that Grand Theft Auto vibe on Unreal Engine 5. Metaverse built on Ethereum. Immersive 5D, they're calling it. This is what I want to see. I want to see this launch. What I don't want to see is perpetual freaking developments, cash grabs. So I'm hoping Ubisoft is successful. I think this has the best shot at it right now. Wilder World's up there, and there's some others too. But I would love to see, this take off because it's going to make NFTs take off and have real world applications. I'm bullish on this. Binance expanding its presence in Asia. Its ever expanding presence in Asia. Potential entrance into Taiwan come after the company re-entered the Japanese markets last year. So kind of cool. Binance seeks to enter a Taiwanese market, partners with law enforcement agency in Taiwan, regulatory hurdles, in the US and Europe. So they're expanding, keeping their head down. Like I said, whatever you think of CZ and Binance, I hope they're on the up and up and doing things properly in the right way and not doing all the things that the SEC said, like trading against their customers. But who knows what they're doing, but I just hope they're not. We don't want Binance to fail. Trust me. I mean, that would make FTX, again, look like a mountain compared to a molehill, right? FTX being the molehill. Other Binance news, they are supporting CRV who needs it after this recent exploit and the crash and the possible liquidation and how CRV and the Curve pools are tied into DeFi. I mean, it is DeFi, right? If the founder of Curve got liquidated and all these pools had all these issues, it would be a disaster for DeFi. So Binance throwing its support behind CRV, hints at DeFi expansion. This is bullish. So Binance Labs made a significant investment in CRV. CRV aims for expansion in the DeFi landscape. Binance investment sets the stage for CRV BNB synergy, bolstering both players. So they have invested in Curve CRV token with a full commitment to collaborate with the protocol and shape the future of the DeFi sector. Lastly, for Binance, we all know the spot volume's at like a 3-year low. It's rough right now, right? I mean, we had that big pump up in January and then just kind of died off since. Price has been rising, CVDs have been falling, bearish divergence. That's why a lot of people are on edge right now, just like they were at the $61,000 level, which is why I kind of like exited the markets at 31, I think it was like 31,600, something like that. Still trading futures, but kind of pulled back some of my coins just in case. But Binance has retained its position as a top crypto exchange despite a 19% decline in its market share. So Binance is bleeding market share to other exchanges, and this is because of all the Binance FUD. The crypto giant also witnessed a 50% decline, 49%, in monthly trading volume since the beginning of 2023. Upbit and OKX are the second and third largest exchanges by market share, respectively. Some of that bleeding into them and other exchanges as well. If you guys remember earlier in the week or end of last week, I was talking about how ARK Invest was the first ETF application that had the closest deadline for approval or denial, right? So we thought maybe by the end of the year, we would have an answer or sooner, right? So unfortunately, we got a delay today. So the SEC Commission on Friday asked for new written comments on a proposed spot application from Cathie Wood's ARK Invest and 21 shares in an apparent delay. The SEC Commission on Friday asked for new written comments. Interested parties were invited to submit written data, views, and arguments due in 21 days. The regulator had in June said it would either approve or disapprove or institute proceedings to determine whether to disapprove the application by August 13th. Here we are, guys. I mean, we got just delay after delay after delay. It was kind of expected. Cathie Wood said it would be expected. I think you're probably right that August 13th will come and go, Wood said. I think the SEC, if it's going to approve a Bitcoin ETF, will approve more than one at once, trying to not give someone an advantage over the other. Lots of excitement about spot ETFs. We know that it's going to create a huge surge, but delays. Let's see, you've been living under a rock lately. You know that Coinbase Layer 2 base is on a roll, overtaking Optimism in daily active users. One of the particular apps or dApps on the Layer 2 base is Friend.Tech, and the hype is soaring. So a grayed out airdrop icon at the top of the app suggests the platform will release a token, but just interest is skyrocketing. So Friend.Tech is a social network rumored to be releasing a token airdrop. About 175 million has been bridged to base since inception. So, keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on Friend.Tech. I mean, let's just go to it right now and check it out. So, the marketplace for your friends. Visit Friend.Tech on a phone to install the app. So, I'm not going to do that, but check it out. Check it out. Just keep an eye on these things. I mean, there's a lot of money being thrown into the base blockchain. Might be a lot of opportunities for some money, for some potential 10 times, 100 times tokens, whatever. But Base becomes the second biggest L2 blockchain. Moves on from the Bald fiasco, which we talked about. It soared 3,000% at launch and plummeted 92% like 5 minutes later. So just keep an eye on this, guys. I've been talking about Rollbit now for a little while, guys. We've made a lot of calls on this that have played out even before this 100% surge in a week. But they continue to supremacy over the top 100 cryptos. I could see this being a multi-billion-dollar coin. They're talking about launching sports betting. It's going to be huge. It's kind of a cool project. I don't recommend gambling, especially if you have gambling issues or you have addictive personalities. Just stay away from it. But they revamped their tokenomics, and it has surged since. It has surged, 8,000% year to date, rising from 0.002 to 0.159 in 2023. Although users should be aware of hazards, this performance emphasizes how technology and money have come together. I mean, it's just on a tear, and it looks just like Bitcoin does, right? I mean, it's following Bitcoin almost to a T, but the surging in price is a lot higher. Thriving over the years. Well, we'll dissect the Rollbit coin here in the TA section of the video in a little bit, but with the revamped tokenomics, the hype that is being shown on this right now, and the sports betting coming in the future, I could see this taking off and becoming a multi-billion-dollar coin. I'm not telling you to buy it. It's not financial advice. Nothing I do in this channel is ever financial advice. You do your own TA, your own research, but bullish. So look, Bitcoin hasn't done much, so I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin anymore. I told you what to do. Trade the liquidity, trade those channels, watch those moving averages, trade the trend lines. More importantly than that, I do have a Learn the TA series on here, which is amazing. I promise you, you're going to love it. You know, I've only been a channel. I broke away from a larger channel. I've been on my own now for a few weeks. You know, you start getting 100 to 400 views first video. People, you start the first video, work your way down. We're talking about setting up trading view, your expectations, best practices, advice, mastering liquidity and order books, understanding CVD, perp spots, delta, chart patterns and candlesticks. Tonight, I'm dropping one on how to find entries and trading strategies. I promise you'll be a better trader and you'll understand my thought processes more if you watch this series. I'm going to link the series in the description below. And as always, you're going to find timestamps down there and sources like I do in every single description for everything I've covered in this video. But, you know, if it's a slow weekend, throw one of these on, play through it, watch it. I promise you, you'll learn something from it. So we talked about CRV in today's video and how Binance is infusing cash into them. However, it's not getting a bounce off of that news. Now, we are in a reverse or inverse cup and a handle pattern. Drew it like my, you know, 8-year-old would draw, right? Here we go. So what I would expect is probably some more downside on this, just based off of based on the fact that, you know, we're underneath all the moving averages. We are bleeding underneath the SMA, the simple moving average. We're seeing money come back out after a little bit of an increase, which was that cup and a handle, right? That inverse cup and a handle, we saw that little bit of an increase. Or it was actually kind of here where we saw it start to come back a little bit, and now it's bleeding again. So I'm anticipating more downside on CRV. Some of you guys know I am in a short on this. I'm just sitting on it. So, you know, if this plays out to the downside, I'm going to be in the money huge, because that's a pretty big decrease potential here. Another 27% to the downside. Not quite to the liquidation levels for, I forget the gentleman's name who runs CRV, which would spell disaster for the blockchain. Liquidation levels are down at like 0.3233, I think, for him. So this wouldn't be too scary here to get down to there. It would be a double bottom almost, right? So you got your double bottom here, your double bottom here, which hopefully we can get that bounce off of to rebuild, find some new patterns that aren't super bearish. But that's about as, you know, reverse cup and a handle as you can get right now. And we're continually making, you know, lower highs, lower lows. So I would expect this to continue until it doesn't. So let me turn off my indicators so it's easier to see for you. You know, you can pretty much draw a pretty solid downtrend there, pretty solid downtrend there, pretty tradable channel. And you can see how this kind of loses the channel, which has kind of been what we've been seeing lately with Bitcoin and other coins, to where you get that fake out, breakout to the downside before a pump back up to the top of the channel, looking for a breakout. Now, I want curve to be prosperous. It's a huge portion of the DeFi landscape. It'd be disastrous for this to crash and fall off, but it looks like more downside within this channel. You know, inverse cup and handle looks like it's going to play out to the downside. You know, we got to check in on BNB since they just infused some cash, announced some partnerships, expanding in DeFi. However, I mean, not even that news could pump either coin. So we are still stuck in this bearish pennant. So this was like start of the downturn for Binance with all the FUD that's been going on for a while now. I mean, this downturn has been, you know, 67 days now they've been battling this FUD. So this is a bearish pennant that's playing out right now. It's been a very tradable channel. I am shorting this. Some of you guys know that as well. And I'm holding my short because I'm anticipating us coming down to about this $216 level, which would be, you know, testing this support here, all this here. So that seems like the logical level to get a bounce off of. If we don't, it could get real ugly, right? I mean, we could be talking retracing all this down to $40. I don't think so, though. Hopefully that's where we hold and start to build off of there. Now, again, this is this has been 67 days, whatever I said. So I'm not saying this is going down in a straight line, but it looks like it's going down. Taking a look at the daily chart on BNB, you can see we have slipped it. So we've slipped the simple moving average on the RSI. So price is starting to get bearish. We want to take a look at the, you know, market site for B. You know, we can see how bad the money flow bleed was. It looked like maybe we were going to come up, but now it's starting to come back down. You can see that VWAP. People are selling this, man. People are shorting this coin. They're shorting CRV. Both these coins into the ground right now. It doesn't mean we can't get a squeeze, but it just looks like people are too sketch right now. They're too sketched out to long these coins. The liquidity is so thick below us. There's so much below us. I mean, it seems like we're going to continue down this path. You know, how are we going to negate this? When does this become invalidated? Well, that's simple. If we break out to the upside of this channel, and we're winding down in these channels, guys, both on CRV, both on BNB. I mean, we're getting close here to where we're going to have to break out to at some point. So I'm going to continue to kind of scalp these channels in the meantime, but hold on to my shorts on these. I'm well into the profit on them, and I called these out a long time ago. I said, you know, CRV short as soon as that exploit happened, and BNB as soon as that FUD started to happening. It was just too much of an attack on them. You know, big institutional investors they're too skittish, and then, you know, there's not enough spot plays. There's not enough FOMO right now to make up for that. So I'll continue trading these until we, you know, fall out one way or the other, and be on the winning side of it. But my guess is, unless we get a big bull run or a big bullish push, we're coming down. So, you know, I've been talking about Rollbit for a while because I had this, you know, cup and a handle that played out to the T. And then, you know, a couple days ago, I talked about that. I've been talking about this, guys. Why is you know, some of you guys, I'm not seeing the wins posted in Discord unless you're just getting them. You're not showing me. But I mean, I showed you the flag that was happening and the hype behind it. And now we're pumping up, you know, to the top of the flag, possibly aiming for this. You know, you might have missed your entry at this point because we're in price discovery territory now. So the only thing we can do now is try to find patterns, right? Is try to find patterns. There is that flag breakout up there. It's currently playing it out in the 4-hour chart. You want to take a look at money flow. I mean, it's just higher highs, right? Bullish divergence on the money flow, bullish divergence on the momentum, bullish divergences, or at least equal highs on the RSI, and we're taking up right now. VWAPs are pretty strong, coming back up. You're going to see more cash infusion probably coming in right now. $652 million market cap. I believe this can go to multiple $billion market cap. I'm not saying tomorrow, but over time, especially if this hype and momentum continues. And the more it gets listed on popular sexes, the more people can degen into it or just swing trade or do long-term investing. The more volume, the more liquidity, the better. Some of you guys know I've been talking about Thorchain as well in the RUNE token. So it's currently trending right now for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's blowing up on price. They've introduced a successful new function called stream swaps, leading to positive sentiment towards the chain. There's been significant transfers of RUNE tokens indicating high activity, interest in the token. Furthermore, discussions about the deflationary aspect of the RUNE token have raised concerns about the sustainability of the project. People are expressing worries about the low amount of RUNE being burned and its potential impact. It's important to note that the lending cap and LP of RUNE have been hit before, but the protocol has recovered. So you have some bullish and maybe some caution tails there. So we are seeing, I mean, a pretty solid potential cup and a handle forming here. So first of all, I should say you kind of see two. So there was a cup and there was the handle there, and that played out probably almost to the T, to the breakout. So let's, oops, let me get rid of that. Let's take this kind of breakout. Boom. I mean, right up to the T, right? Right up to here. So here we go. So was this the cup and a handle, or is it the bigger cup and a handle? Are we going to see a little bit of kind of retracement here, right? Then we draw this even more to the base of the cup to where the breakout is. Are we going to smash up there? So the caution that I'm going to throw here is, before I would take it, first of all, you don't long support. You just don't, I mean, resistance. You don't ever take a long position at resistance. You got to wait. You got to wait till either you flip it back to support, then we can build off of it and blast up. But you can see it was previous support many times going all the way back. You know, now it's resistance, 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 resistance. So we want to flip this to remain bullish, and we want to see how this plays out. Are we going to retrace it down and it's going to be a larger cup and a handle, or was this the cup and a handle and we need to wait for more structure? We're at key resistance right now, so we need to flip that before I would say take a long. But that's what I'm looking at as far as the Thorchain RUNE price right now. But I mean, this pump, the money is still flowing, guys. I mean, we'll have to continue to watch this money flow, especially on the smaller time frames. VWAP's flopping right now. It's going up, down, up, down, up, down as people are taking profits and then buying. It's healthy to take profits after a huge pump. You need to do that. You need to pay yourself out. You don't want to be stuck holding a bag, right? So we'll have to continue to see if this is just a catalyst pump based off of everything I just talked about, or if we're going to just continue up, man. But the money flow is huge. It's huge. Let's see what the oscillator for Lux Algo is doing. So here we go. So we're seeing that heavy money flow coming in on the 4 hour. So what I would be concerned about is when this heavy money flow starts to trend back downward, because typically when that happens, you see lots of profit taking. You can see a bearish divergence on the RSIs, concerning. So that's why I'm saying before anything, we need to flip that 1.12 support. Otherwise, potentially a good short opportunity as we start retracing some of these levels. Maybe come in looking at the handle, the previous smaller handle here, as a retest at that $1 level. Before blasting up, because I mean it looks like the momentum's there right now on Thorchain. Yeah, I mean it's had price dips in the past. Pretty significant ones. It's recovered. So, overall, it looks pretty bullish, the charts do. Checking out in cryptocurrency subreddit's Moons token over on Reddit, and kind of playing out how I thought it would, guys, where we smashed against this resistance a couple times. We had a double top. We retraced a little bit. We hit that 200 moving average on the 4 hour. That's why I always talk about this 4 hour chart and how so important it is to pay attention to. So we got that little bit of a downturn, but now look at that. I mean, we're pumping up again. We're retesting that level. Again, the 0.5, this is going to be just like the Thorchain, guys, where we need to flip that to support in order to continue up. Hard to TA right now, since we're tying the market top, but very bullish on crypto moons. Again, it's trending. The hype is behind it right now. Look at this money flow down here, guys. It is just crushing it. I mean, it looks just like RUNE did. So there are gems out there. Even though it's a boring market, there are gems out there. And I've been talking about them. I've been posting them in Discord, guys. So hop on in. I mean, it's discord.gg/alpha-air. Join the community, because, I mean, we're having fun over here. But tons of alt TAs, guys, that are playing out how they should. Tons of them. Hop on in. Bullish on moons right now, but we just need to flip this level. Don't long support. Just don't. Wait till it flips. Wait till it flips and then retests and starts building up. And then you can take your long positions based off of everything I talk about in the Learn the TA series, but based off of the moving averages, the structure of the market, et cetera, et cetera. Money flow, VWAP, all the things I talk about in our TA series. Again, link down below. Fortnite Bricks is going to be a little bit tough to TA since it hasn't been around as long as the moons has. And I mean, it just keeps making higher highs. So we're above the VWAP right now, so people are still buying it, right? It looks like maybe, yeah, I mean, we're printing green dot, momentum coming down. It's just tough to TA this, guys. Let's see if it's actually elsewhere. So Brick USD, Brick US dollar on Kraken. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, you got a lot of liquidity down here. You might see some people take some profits. You can see how it's starting to round, right? And that's kind of bearish. You don't want that to come back down. But it looks like that might happen right now. So we would need to obviously flip kind of this level right here, that 0.37680 to support in order to invalidate the downturn, because then we're just going to keep building off of it. But tough to TA this. Newer coin, but it's trending. It's had a huge run up. I mean, we're up, since it was listed on Kraken, 700%. And I've been talking about this now down here. So I've been talking about KASPA for a while too, guys. I'm going to turn off these indicators so it's a little bit easier to see. I said we need to flip that all-time high to continue up. We got that retest. It looks like we're pumping again. So as long as we stay above this line, it looks like we're going to continue on an upward trajectory. I mean, we got a little bit of an ugly shoulder, head and shoulders here, which kind of played out right now. We're retesting currently that double top that we had. There's that double top for that all-time high. So we're retesting it. If that is successful, you're going to see a lot of money come back into KASPA. You're going to see this is just a coin that's been on fire lately. So you can see where we had that high, that retest, that VWAP's coming back up. We got a green dot print, Stokes and RSI's heading up. Taking a look at the RSI right now on the 4 hour, it's coming back up, guys. I mean, KASPA's looking good. Tough to TA it. We're in price discovery territory. We got to wait for new structures to form. But as of right now, as long as this bounce off of that double top, that right here, was the all-time high. We retraced it, all-time high again. Got that kind of almost like a flag off of there. Bounced up, broke it, retest. That's bullish, a bullish retest. And we're going to be blasting off. So you can see where some liquidity currently sits, which we'll probably go for right there, right there. We're going to have a double top there. I mean, maybe we just range out here for a while, but you can see that the pull will probably go to here, to here. It'd be cool to range out here, accumulate, and then blast off in a bull market, right? GMX, guys, bleeding pretty hard today. We are getting like a double bottom into this bit of liquidity down here. You can see right there, right here. If this hold and we get to bounce off of it, I'm expecting us to come back up to about $50 to this order block of liquidity up here. You know, it is possible too. We got to kind of watch and see. What I would hate to see is like a handle to form here, and then we got, you know, like a giant cup and a handle. But you can kind of see it's holding its own right now. We would not want to lose this level, right? Because then we're talking $37 as kind of the next area of support, big support, I should say. And we lose that, it's just all air below that. So it's kind of what I'm seeing on GMX right now. We're at a must-hold level on GMX. So if we take a look at the money flow, you know, it's bleeding a little bit. We did get a green dot print. Stokes and RSIs are ticking down again. Got some bear divs there, but the VWAP is starting to come up. So essentially, if we get a bounce here, that's going to be bullish, and we're coming back up. If we lose this, it's going to get ugly. Looking at about a $37, $38-ish, hopefully support to hold. But, you know, high. It's just a rounded top. I mean, a rounded market, right? I mean, boom. I mean, remember when I talked about that with whatever coin I just did a few coins ago, what we don't want to see happen? Bricks, right? We don't want to see this happen to bricks. This is what happened with GMX. So higher high, tied it, lower, boom, bottom fell out from us. So watch for an inverse cup and handle. If a handle starts forming out here, that would kind of flash a warning sign to me. That would take us down to the bottom here for sure. But we need to hold. We need to hold this level here. We need these buys, the money flow to start coming back in on these smaller time frames, like the 30-minute here. And it just hasn't. It's still bleeding. So we could get that fallout. Last coin I want to show you guys is SHIB. It's had some catalyst news with their layer 2 blockchains and, you know, all that stuff. So higher highs on the money flow. Money flow is currently ticking up. However, VWAP is coming down. So it's like, is there enough money flow to support the profit taking right now? It would appear so. We are coming up against a double top right now. Make your break time. Double top right there. M pattern, right? Boom, boom, boom. Are we coming back down? You know, you got liquidity sitting right here that wants to be scooped. You got liquidity sitting right here that wants to be scooped. We need to flip this again, this value area high to support in order to continue to the top side. Otherwise, it's going to be a battle between, you know, FOMO and money flow into SHIB and the profit taking, because there is profit taking happening right now. But it seems like, at least at the moment, that money flow is keeping up with the profit taking. So if we can flip this kind of quadruple zero 10369 to support, it's going to be bullish. We're going to continue up. If we get rejected here, I would expect a downside. You know, if you want to buy some cheaper, look down here, but the momentum's there. You can see these bands. You know, we're above all. This is the 4-hour chart, so we're above all the moving averages, bullish. The market cipher is printing upwards, so it looks bullish right now, but we need to flip that to support in order to continue up. That's all I got today, guys. We TA'd a whole shitload of coins. I probably put you onto some of them. We got you the news. I showed you the channels to trade on BTC. More importantly than that, guys, I'm telling you, hop in Discord. Discord.gg/alpha air. We got all kinds of TA going on. Post alts all the time. And it's just a community that I'm growing. Come be a part of a growing community. Appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will see you guys this weekend.